we hold it up that it is a blue CHෘT, which is why I was comfortable putting it on that white. Now, you should really only do this when you're like ready to go start dipping. So I'm prepping all of them, but I'm gonna store them back in a very safe place because you don't want them to get wet. How to hydro dip your vampire. Alright, let's go take a look, guys. So what we've been doing is setting them over here after a quick rinse. These are going to be really cool, but this one is staying home. Alright, so now all we have to do is hit them up with the absolute top tier clear coat, but this is what they look like now. I'm pretty happy with this turnout. We have very minimal air bubbles in it, and the films that we chose lend themselves well to little discrepancies like that. For example, the Nosferatu film can handle some tears because it already looks kind of aggressive and wild like that. This film was our first time using it, and it's awesome. It's way cooler than I thought it would be. So recently I've been using this to clear coat all of my HydroDip stuff, and that helps not only with the retention of the vinyl logos, but also with the film adhering, especially between different kind of things. So this is a different kind of paint than the paint that has the HydroDip, etc., and so forth. So this is 2K Clear Pro. It says it's superior 2K lacquer. What makes it special is it's got a variable flow nozzle, which is kind of neat. And this one's very loud now because it's very empty, but we completely drained it into these three, and it's about enough to cover 3 stripes. Hopefully that's enough of an indicator for you guys, but it has a 2-stage activation, so you actually have to pull this pin down in the bottom to start the chemical reaction, and then you shake it up, and then you actually spray it out of the top nozzle. An airbrush version of this would be cheaper than this. This is rather expensive, but the results speak for themselves. These are very nice. I love how the Vorpal logo looks in this font. I think that that's really, really cool. And then down here we have Vesper with the Cryptek also kind of cooling. So we're going to give this the full day to cure, and then I'll show you the end result with internals inside, and that'll be the how-to HydroDip video. Pretty simple stuff once you know exactly what you're doing. Any one of these little steps could trip you up, but with a relatively decent video guide and a little bit of imagination, I trust you guys will be just fine. Alrighty guys, so this is the final segment for the hydro dipping video, and I only have 2 to show you because I foolishly put this video off and put it off and put it off, and then only have time to make it now that I'm back from NVZ. At NVZ, I raffled off this blaster and the Vesper. Now, the good news is I got really lucky, and the person who won Vorpal was not present, which means that I had the ability to bring it back here, and right before I mail it off to them, because I'm going to mail it to them, obviously, I can make the final segment. So, this is how they turned out. The ultra smooth kind of finish on here with the gloss just looks great on both of them, and then the hydrographic imaging just looks awesome. This green had a silver in it that I didn't see before, and really makes it look almost like a dragon scale on both sides. I just think that that's awesome. As always, Avery's logos look just immaculate. I think that that's great. The Nosferatu itself, the Nosferatu has the same film rather, but the Sanguine turned out incredible. I'm really, really happy with how it looks all the way around. I think that it's super duper cool how like the vampire in certain places just looks awesome. So like here he's coming up here. Here we have him kind of like bursting out flying, and then mouth open on this side. Over here we have the same mouth open pattern, and then of course the flying here, and the bats kind of blend all through.